Oh, welcome welcome all to the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic pulling engines out of Toyotas are, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler. Joining me for another episode of the Snail Trail 4x4 podcast, Jimmy. Is Jimmy Jet over there?
What up?
It's a little jet.
Little jet.
Little jet. Oh, that's your new nickname. You just a cute little jet.
Yay.
Now I got Jimmy in the house. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Nice.
I'm a little tired.
Oh,
Not bad though.
you had to wake up early this morning?
No, I've been waking up early the last 2 mornings.
Oh.
I got to actually wake up at a normal time this
Okay.
morning. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good.
Let's see. What do we got on the docket for today? It is Thursday.
Thursday's episode.
Yeah. Which means we get to talk about what we've been up to.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of updates.
Yes, you do.
I have some fun stories, some really fun creative problem solving to dive into, which I think will be interesting. And then you got to do some shop work.
I did a little bit of shop work and I went camping.
Ah, okay. I didn't realize you went camping again. That must be nice, Jimmy.
The last camping trip on the books at the moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Is that because the kiddo's back in school?
Yeah, kiddo and wifo.
Oh, that's true.
So their work has started back up for the assistant and mini assistant's back at school. Actually, mini assistant was back in school last week, but yeah, it's just nothing scheduled for a little bit just to get people back into the flow of things.
Okay. Well, cool. We'll talk about that as well here today on Thursday's episode. Until then, we do have a monthly giveaway going on right now with Hot Metal Fab, which you guys heard about on Monday. A lot of really cool stuff he's doing there. And it sounds like the business is growing quite rapidly in a really cool way, in my opinion. Like doing kind of custom fab stuff projects is a lot of fun for me.
Yes.
I love watching and seeing how people engineer things.
Okay.
Because there's multiple ways to skin a cat,
There's
right?
Endless ways. Yeah.
Endless amount of ways to skin a cat and throw it across a yard. So it's just a matter of how does that person's brain work? How are they viewing the project and engineering things to solve these problems?
Right.
So it's always fun for me to talk with people and commiserate with people that are doing that. So it's fun. We had the interview with Brad on Monday, got to learn a lot about that and what he's doing. Pretty cool stuff. Go check out the website, hotmetalfab.com. And this month's giveaway gives you $250 store credit to the website. So, and you could probably just call Brad up and call up one of the employees and talk about a project you need done. And you'll have $250 towards that project, whatever it is. So,
yeah. I know he's always, if you're in the Sacramento area and you want something done, he's always looking for the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if you've got a vehicle that he hasn't worked on yet for like sliders, bumpers or whatever,
mm-hmm.
a lot of times he'll be like, bring it in. I want to build something for that vehicle.
Yeah.
And then they create that and then put it on the website.
Yeah.
So you could be a test dummy, pay him a little bit of money, get a $250 off and get rolling with some new sliders or something.
Yep. Supposedly he has a really nice bed rack system that's sounds very reasonably priced. And at $250 will get you like almost a third of it off. So
it's kind of
third
wild.
to half. It's pretty crazy. So anyways, check that stuff out. He's got a lot of really cool, fun little tidbit things on the website too that are fun for like man cave, garage items. So
absolutely.
Check it out, hotmetalfab.com, and get signed up for this month's giveaway over at irate4x4.com. All your options will be listed there under the Snail Trail 4x4 forum. If you're on computer, they'll be on your right-hand side of the website, of the webpage. And if you're on a mobile device, all the way at the bottom.
Yep,
so.
Exactly. We've also got a giveaway going on this time forever. And I was going to say this month, but until we reach 800 reviews, we have a giveaway going on with Onyx Off-Road.
Mm-hmm.
We are giving away an elite membership to their platform. a 1-year subscription, elite membership. So if you go over to Apple Podcasts, you leave us a review, and then that automatically gets you entered to win the elite membership.
Mhm.
And then it automatically enters you to win anything else we do in the future with reviews and giveaways.
Yep.
So go over, get an Apple account. If you don't have one, log in and just leave a review on the podcast, and that automatically enters you.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. That'll be cool. If you've already gone and left a review, you're already entered.
Yep.
But if you can find ways to leave multiple reviews by stealing your friends' phones,
Or your wife's phone.
or your wife's phone,
Or your girlfriend's phone.
that too, you just have to remember to stay with her until the giveaway is done.
True.
And then you can break up.
Yep.
So yeah, the more ways you can find to enter, the more chances you have at winning these giveaways for the reviews. So let's see. Anything else?
There's a lot of events and stuff coming up.
Yeah.
September. September's a busy month. There's a lot going on. Look in your area, figure out if something's fun's happening out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think when's Cantina?
It's I think second weekend of September.
Okay.
First weekend of September. It's like September 6th.
Got it. Yeah. So that's coming up quick for us.
Yep.
That'll be fun. You're emceeing that again.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be good. Moreflate's going to be out there.
Yep.
Moreflate's head sponsor.
Yep. We're the title sponsor this year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I guess not title sponsor. We're the presented by sponsor.
Sure. Isn't that titled sponsor?
No, apparently there's people have made multiple ways to create title sponsors.
Okay.
So it's I forget who the title sponsor is, but I think 4-Wheel Parts.
Oh.
Is it 4-Wheel Parts? The 4-Wheel Parts Cantina for the con presented by Moreflate.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so we'll be out there. Really cool thing about, speaking of Rubicon Trail Foundation, off-road, trail advocacy organizations. I was kind of going through and looking over all of the event donations we've done this year for Moreflate.
Okay.
So last year alone, over the whole course of the year was 2024. Moreflate did $47,000
Dang.
in donations towards off-road communities and trail advocacy organizations.
Okay.
So far, as of, I want to say August 10th, we've done, and just in 2025, we've done 67,000.
Wow.
So we've already done 50%, almost 40% more.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So it's pretty cool. I think it's really neat. As I continue to grow the company, as the company continues to have success, it just allows us to do and give back more to communities and trail advocacy organizations. So
that's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, I guess we'll hear about it at the end of the year, or at the very start of the new year, because you always give us an update on how much Moreflate has donated throughout the years.
Yeah. Once we get our taxes done, that's when we get to kind of calculate all of our annual donations.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, probably a few years away from 1 million.
Maybe. Growing at the rate we're growing, we're over 200,000 lifetime.
Yeah.
Donated. So that's cool.
That is really neat.
Yeah.
We'll see next year. Maybe you'll hit 100,000 in the year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was originally like, at this beginning of this year, I put that as a goal, and I was like, that feels like too much. I need to, let's pull that back just a little bit.
Sure.
So, we'll see where it goes, but I can see us doing $100,000 a year towards donations. That's and awesome. Trail advocacy orgs.
That's good. That's really, really cool. Congratulations on that.
Yep. Thank you. I think that's about it then.
Okay.
So should we jump on over to what we've been up to?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. We'll take a quick break, hear a little bit about Onyx Off-Road and kind of the cool things that piece of software does for off-roaders. And then we'll be right on back with the shenanigans from Jimmy and Tayler. So have a break, have a crumpet. Is that a thing anymore?
Crumpets?
Tea and crumpet? Tea and crumpets? Sure. We're not British.
Get some tea and have a crumpet.
There you go. And we'll be right on back.
Are you stuck inside? Are you not sure where you want to go to explore? We'll open the Onyx Off-Road app. It shows you all the trails around you and it tells you their difficulty. Now you can quickly search out your next adventure or plan your next trip. Download Onyx Off-Road from the App Store. Onyx Off-Road, built for the adventurer.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Thursday's episode. Happy Thursday, everybody. We were up to some things.
Yes, we were.
We did some stuff.
Yes, we did.
Did you go camping with the trailer?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm kind of curious. I want to hear about the trailer, and because I'm curious about your whole electrical situation. Did you dive into that before you went camping? Or?
No.
Oh.
No, I haven't done.
Okay.
Besides chatting with Donnie and talking about a breaker or a fuse of some sort that I need because the 15 amp isn't the correct amperage that I need, and the line that goes from the battery or to the battery, vice versa, is way too small for the power that it should be carrying.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some modifications that are going to need to get done to that. But I did not dive into it beforehand. I just put the charger onto the battery.
Okay.
Pulled the fuse out, put the charger on the battery. Then I was able to, once the fuse is out, I can connect the 110 shore power.
Okay.
That way I can pre-cool the fridge without draining the lithium battery that I have there. And then when it was time to go, it was like, okay, unplug shore power, unplug the battery charger, and then put the fuse back in, and everything works.
Okay.
So electrical wise, the trailer worked fine.
Nice.
Just as good. We didn't even run because drove out Friday, like afternoon, because the mini assistant is in school, and the assistant had like the early days where the teacher has to go with no kids and to help set up their rooms or get things ready. So she had her one of those days, but she was able to get out fairly quick. I think she got home by like 3:00 and the mini assistant's out like at 2:30. And so we had a little bit of time to get everything together before we took off. I think we left about 3:30 or 4.
Okay.
And so from 4:00 on Friday through roughly noon-ish on Sunday, I didn't even pull out a solar panel. The battery did the trailer fine.
Nice.
Fridge ran throughout the day, totally fine. No problems there. The only problem is, slight problem is that the DC inlet, the receptacle, is a little loose, or the springs on the fridge plug push the plug out. And so at some time you'll look at the fridge and it'll be off, and like you'll try to power it on and be like, what the hell? And then you just need to think, oh, I need to push the plug in.
Okay.
And so if you forget about it or you don't see it and it's been off for a while, the fridge heats up. We also brought the Iron Man 4x4 behemoth of a fridge. And that pretty much cooked we didn't pull a solar panel out for that one either. And that one ate up one of the 500 watt-hour lithium Wagon Tech batteries. All right. And so it was totally fine until the last day. And the last day, it just, it was too much for it when we were just prepping to leave. Fortunately, I have 2 of them. So I grabbed the second one and plugged it in, and you mainly used it to run it while we were packing. Okay. And then when we drive home, and then I can plug it into the truck and drive home. So okay. Yeah. We went camping with the assistants, like mom's group. We talked about them a few times with the assistants in this group called Mom Co. And they it's just a bunch of moms that get together and they talk about mom stuff, and from everything now, from it used to be like a moms of preschoolers and kindergartners kind of scenario, and then now it's grown to like elementary school and then middle school and then even higher. So now they have a bunch of different divisions within Momco. Yeah. So it's interesting, but I'm glad that she can put herself around a bunch of other ladies to talk about lady things. Yeah. I only have so much. It only
goes so far when you're talking to your husband about lady things.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, my advice only goes so far. Yeah. And then she looks at me funny. But, so there was 4 families there that camped overnight, Friday night, Saturday night. And then 4 additional families showed up for a day trip on Saturday.
Okay.
We went up to Scotts Flat, which is outside of Nevada City.
Okay.
A little lake there. We like the place. But it was funny because there's one girl in this group that just is like a negative Nancy. So no matter where you go, she's not happy. And then another lady said it's too dusty and she didn't like it. But I don't know. So I think it's a good happy medium.
Did you guys teach her about whore baths?
No.
Oh.
There was a lake right there.
Oh, okay.
So go jump in the lake. Go jump in the lake. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a campground, not too far away from Sacramento. So it's easy to get to. It's going to be full. There's a lake by it. There's going to be people around. People are going to, people do their own things. They want to have their own fun time and out in nature. I personally don't like campgrounds when people are playing music.
Yeah. I don't either.
It's like, I don't play music because I don't want I don't like it when other people are playing music. And then I feel like if I have to play music to drown out their music, then it just comes into this music battle. So it's just easier not to play music.
Yeah.
And there's this group that was on the far side of our area, but like we could still hear their music being played. Yeah. So it's just, and then one of the negative Nancy complained about that. So it's just the way it was. But we actually really like that campground because 1, it's not far from our house. 2, it's right up against, the sites are right on the lake.
Okay.
And it's dirt. You're out in nature. It's dirty. Like, of course it's going to be dusty.
Yeah. That's what the lake is for.
Yeah, whatever. But the kids had a great time at the lake. They almost as literally when we drove up there, the mini assistant's like, can I go to the lake? And we're like, no, we got to set up camp, get ready. Dinner time soon. And somehow she weaseled her way like to go down to the lake. And then we're like, okay, you've been down there for a while. It's time to come up, put on some clothes and we're going to make dinner or dinner's ready or something like that. So we eventually got them up. This campground was no fires, but we had a propane fire pit.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice. And then it was really a chill Friday night, just the 4 families. We all know each other. One of them got in rather late. Get this. The family that came last has a like camping trailer, one of those pop up fold out camping trailers that has like beds on both sides and stuff. And they went to fill up on Thursday, they went to check the tires on the camping trailer and they ripped a valve stem off of on one side. And so they were like, oh, bummer. So they went to go check the second side. They ripped the valve stem off again. Jeez. Yeah. So both tires ripped off valve stems. That's what I asked. I said, how old are those tires and valve stems? And they're like, well, we have no idea about the valve stems, but the tires aren't that old. We just got them on like last year. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they didn't change the valve stems. And I was like, were one of your teenage kids filling the tires up? And the dad's like, no, I did it. I'm like, do you park? Like, where do you park the trailer? Like, is it in the sun the entire day? And he's like, no. Like, I could understand one side. Yeah. But not both sides. Yeah. So I have no idea what he did, how he did it. So yeah, so they had to take all the wheels off the trailer, take them to a tire repair shop because they don't have the tools or anything. Put the new valve stems in.
Man, if they only had Colby valves.
Right? Yep. Or even just a tire iron. Regardless, they had to wait to get the tires done so they could put them on the trailer to get up to the camping. So, they came in kind of late, but very chill Friday night. Saturday rolled around. The kids were down in the water like at 9 a.m. and we're like waking up, getting ready for breakfast. And then eventually we like had to call the kids back up so they could put sunscreen on, eat breakfast, just regulate them a little bit. Yeah. The whole rest of the day we spent down by the lake, hanging out. We had a few canopies up, easy ups and like, umbrellas and yeah, it was pretty fun. I swam out into the lake quite a ways. I just swam for a while. I guess the negative Nancy lady was kind of like, is he going to be okay? And the assistant's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He's part dolphin.
Yeah, he's a fish.
Yeah. And I was swimming out there and I took a breath to my left side and I swam, took a breath to my right side, took a breath to my left side. I saw this kayak. I took a breath to my right side, took a breath to my left side, and there's a kayak still there. And I'm like, interesting. So I like kind of lifted my head up and I looked at him and they're both looking at me, and I like stop. I'm like, you okay? They're like, are you okay?
You're like, mentally, probably not, but physically I'm awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm good. They're like, you going the whole way? And I'm like, no, not today. And they're like, how far do you think it is? And I'm like, I have no idea. I can't judge across water. Maybe a mile, And they're like, yeah, that's what we thought it was. We're curious if you're going to do the whole thing. I was like, no, not right now. I could do the whole thing, but I'd have to figure out a way to get back.
Yeah. Not swimming back.
Nope. I mean, in theory I could, but
yeah,
that would have been a good long swim. But that was kind of funny. So I was just treading water and talking to these guys like a few hundred yards off the beach. Turned around, swam back, and threw the kids around on a paddleboard for a while. They wanted to play like sea monster game, so I did that. Like sea monster.
How does that work? Are you under the paddleboard and trying to pull them off? Or
I'm under the paddleboard trying to pull them off, lifting the paddleboard off, flipping the paddleboard over, whatever I can to get them off and to get them to scream and yell and have fun. And at some point I got them all off and then I got on the paddleboard and then I was like, trying to defend the paddleboard. And, whatever you did, just entertaining the children for a while.
Like it.
Yeah. Lazy night. But that night, or it was a fairly lazy day around the lake, just kicking it, had a few drinks. The assistant brought down like 2 bottles of rosé. We had a few Trulies, just relaxed, chilling by the lake. Went up, made lunch, made the kids get out, reapply sunscreen, just normal stuff. That night we were sitting around and we saw an ambulance drive the wrong way on the loop because it was a directional loop.
Okay.
We're like, that's interesting. And then we hear the backup noise of something. We're like, okay, they found wherever they're going. And then we saw a sheriff fly by.
Do the same thing.
That's interesting. Okay. And then we see the sheriff or the ambulance leave and there's a sheriff in the ambulance. We're like, okay. And then 2 more sheriffs drive following the ambulance.
Okay.
Like what? And then like 20 minutes later, 3 sheriffs drove around the loop again. And then maybe an hour or so later, 3 more sheriffs drove around the loop again. And we're like, what the hell? And I was right. But what I assumed, and I asked one of the employees that I was like picking up trash and stuff. I asked them, what happened last night? Like there was an ambulance and sheriffs driving around. And they said some campers got in a fight. But one of them had busted his head open.
Jeez.
And so they needed to call the ambulance. And then when the sheriff was in the ambulance, had to leave their vehicle at the campsite. So then they came back a second time to pick up the vehicle, but and they didn't say like why they drove around multiple times. My guess is they were looking for the person that instigated the fight or caused the bodily harm. And they just couldn't, they were driving around trying to see if they could find somebody.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
You didn't hear any of the fight commotion?
No, I didn't hear a fight at all. Well, no, it was funny because we were the night before, I guess at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody was down at like the corner where we were camped, just yelling and screaming, "Where is campsite 219? I need to find campsite 219." Right. And we were 217.
Okay.
Right. So we were 217. He was looking for 219.
Yeah.
And he was just hammered out of his mind. Right. And so
it's not a stressed or anxious moment. It's somebody completely
drunk went to the bathroom, turned out of the bathroom the wrong way and got lost or something like that. Right.
Gotcha.
It's like, I know I'm on the road. Where's my campsite scenario? So anyways, when we were eating lunch the day that the sheriffs and the ambulance rolled around, some guy was walking up the hill and he said, "Hey, can I ask you what campsite you are?" And I said, "Oh, we're 216.
17.
We were in 216. The main group was in 217.
Gotcha. Okay.
I said, "We're 216. And he's like, "Okay, thanks. I was just trying to find my campsite." And I said, "You're not 219, are you?" And he like stopped and he looked at me and he was like, "I am. How'd you know?" And I said, "Well, I didn't hear it, but my group who's down below us said somebody was on the road last night at 2 or 3 in the morning, screaming at the top of their lungs, trying to find campsite 219.
Yeah.
And he's like, that could have been me or my friend Matt. And we're like, well, you guys need to keep that under control. You should not be like, I'm all for you guys having fun and partying and doing whatever, but don't get lost and start screaming at the top of your lungs at 3 a.m. for your campsite.
Yeah. Your campsite's not going to come find you.
Yeah. Like you need to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, he's like, okay, sorry, I apologize. I'm like, well, tell your buddy Matt to figure life out too. Like have fun, but don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
So the running joke was it 219 that got in the fight? Like, did these guys just overdo it again and like have an altercation with a neighboring camp? That was like some guys coming by, like, hey, you guys need to settle it down. It's nighttime. Like, chill out. And they just argued with them or something. I don't know. So that was the joke, but I don't know if that was true or not. And if you were listening in 219, figure your life out.
Anything happening over the weekend, you're just it was 219.
It's all 219's fault. Yeah, pretty much. Sunday rolled around. We pretty much packed up because it was the assistant's stepdad's birthday.
Okay.
Who's pretty much her real dad, more or less raised her throughout her life. And then so we planned to do stuff with him that day. We also wanted to go see the theater that the mini assistant goes to, was putting on a performance of Matilda that I helped with the set with a few weeks ago. And
set that fell and broke.
Yeah. That one.
That one you helped with?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Just saying.
Well, and I went, it didn't fall the second time. So it wasn't my fault that it fell either.
Yeah. It was, keep telling yourself that.
It was the cable came undone in a piece that I didn't even put on.
Yeah.
And that should have been crimped.
Yeah. It wasn't crimped properly.
But broke.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I had to rebuild. I built it, then I had to rebuild it. And then I went back another weekend and did some more work there. I built like a little bench and another flyaway piece. I kind of laughed at them. I'm like, you want me to build another flyaway piece after this last one? And they're like, we think you've learned your lesson. I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we talked to the assistant's stepdad and we said, we want to go watch Matilda. And he's like, I'll go. And so we met him to go to the show. And then we went out to Spaghetti Factory afterwards. So we had to get home fairly early to clean ourselves up, do some unpacking, and then get ready to go to the show and everything. So we were home by like noon.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a very low key, relaxed weekend, just hanging out at a campground, hanging out by the lake. Trailer did absolutely fine, but this was sort of the last trip. So when we got home, we did semi-thorough cleaning, emptied it out quite a bit, took a bunch of the dishes and everything out of it and ran it through the dishwasher, cleaned up the sink area, that whole back area quite a bit. And I think it's about time, for the most part, to start hacking into that a little bit. But I also, I want to work on Samantha more and get that going before I really start another project.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I ordered a axle housing from Trail Gear.
I saw pictures.
Yeah. So I got a bare axle housing, a Trail Gear axle housing that has a Toyota 8-inch E-locker faceplate.
Okay.
And then it has their viewport thing on the backside. And so I did a bit of research and I pretty much came to the conclusion that it's not worth me rebuilding the 8.2 third member.
Yeah, not cost effective.
It's not cost effective because I would have had to spend $1,500 to $2,500 depending on what I wanted to put into that thing to rebuild the third member. When I already have a Toyota 8-inch E-locker third member with 529s sitting on my shelf that I was going to use, and a bare axle housing from Trail Gear cost $1,200.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper for me to buy another axle.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit more work, but not a whole lot more. So I do have to cut this thing down because it comes wider than I need. So I'm going to cut it down. I got the flanges, weld those on. I got some seals so I can put those into place. And and then use the E-locker that I already have and use the axle shafts from the T100 rear axle.
Yeah.
And then that'll build my rear axle up.
Yeah.
And so just a lot more, it's a better cost saving scenario for me because I am being financially safe on this build now.
Mhm.
I've been going on it for so long. It just kind of needs to get done. I don't have a ton of more money I want to drop into this thing. If there's things that I have to buy, like I get it, I have to buy that, but it's like I'm changing from one axle to another axle to another axle. It's just silly at this point. In the meantime, I also did, I pulled the drum brakes off of the axle shafts. So I can put on the disc brake setups and everything, set that all up. And then, I can start to get that axle rolling.
Sweet.
And then
let me know when you're ready to measure, cut the axle tubes to length and put the cups on the end.
Okay.
Cause that was a lot of fun for me to do that with my axles.
Sure.
So
that'll be fun.
I'd love to come over and
I'm
help
excited for that too. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just to kind of learn that process and do the math and figure it all out. So that'll be really cool. And then, I don't know why, but I do know why but I wanted to clean up around Samantha before I really started diving into working on it again. Because once something's stationary in your shop, everything sort of encroaches or is magnetized to that thing that is just stationary. Because it doesn't move. So it's like, oh, I have these extra cardboard boxes. We'll just throw them under there because that's a space where I don't need to walk. Or I have all this extra crap, throw it under there because I don't need that space under there. And so I'm like, this is like, if I'm going to start filming again, I need to clean all this up. So I started cleaning up around Samantha's frame and engine and T-case and the components that are there. And then I started needing to put stuff away or find things to put away or where to put them away too. And that led me to just cleaning off my shelves. There's like this big shelf in the shop that is just constantly overflowing with crap on it. And it just bothered me so I just started working on it. And I was like, I needed to clean up this stuff. I needed to clean up that stuff. I needed to put things away. I eventually I have these like little tiny plastic shelves or drawers underneath one of the counter. And I like opened it up, like what's in here? And I opened one up and it was like two tiny sleeves and a handle for like Bobcat, like a door handle.
Okay.
Like that's taking up the whole drawer. Like why the fuck is that in just like one drawer? So I put the sleeves away in my metal area and I put the handle away with like the other truck stuff on the other side of the shop. And then it opens that drawer up. So then I was like, okay, what crap on this shelf can go into this drawer, be put away somewhere. And it really became a mission for me to just like clean off that shelf. So I probably worked on Samantha. I took the axle housing out of the box and snapped a few photos and shot some raw video about it. And then I put it into place where the T100 was. And then I put the T100 one back where all the other axles are, lying on the floor in the shop. And then I started cleaning up. Oh, I did I pulled the axles off the drums. Then I started cleaning up and I was probably in the shop for like 4 or 5 hours doing all that stuff. And me unboxing and taking the drums off the axle shafts is not very long. But I had that much cleaning that needed to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucked. But anyway, so that was what I did on like Monday primarily. Is I did a lot of that on Monday. And so shop's looking much better. I'm feeling much better about it. I still have a little bit of cleaning up to do. But I did get a new head unit a little while ago for the Tacoma. And that company's kind of lit a fire up my rear end that they want some content out of it. And I said, okay, which I fully understand. But when I got it, I did tell them I'm not going to be able to get to this right away. But on the flip side, I want it installed also because the stupid early 3rd gen Tacoma Toyota, like AI or voice recognition
software thing. It sucks. Terrible.
So to go to an Android Auto it also has the Apple CarPlay if that's your jam.
Have you tried talking to it with a Japanese accent?
No, but what I've tried doing is being very slow and pausing between every word. And then it actually picks me up pretty good.
Okay.
But it's funny because when I tell it to call Ron Black, my dad, like, hey, call Ron Black's cell phone. It goes, calling Rhonda Samurai.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want you to call Samurai James's wife.
Yeah.
Like, I want to call my dad.
Yeah. Rhonda gets random phone calls from you every once in a while.
Yeah, it's probably.
Hey, Jimmy. Oh, you're not my dad. Sorry, Rhonda. Have a good day.
Exactly. So I'm excited to get that swapped out. So the end of this week or maybe this weekend, I'm going to be working on that. And this weekend is one of the first weekends in a long time that we have nothing planned and we're kidless. So I think we're going to really tackle the garden fence that's been driving the assistant nuts that it's not done. The mini assistant's birthday's in middle of September. So our kind of a rough goal is to get the garden fence up before then.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So, yep, that's the sort of the game. That's what I've been up to. Cool. Some camping, a little bit of work on Samantha and a little bit of work on Jace Johnson. And then, yeah, that's been about it.
Sweet. You
have some good stories to tell.
Some fun stuff going on.
I'll just lean backwards right now. Should go get a drink.
So I blew out my exhaust, right? There was a big old 1x2 inch hole in my exhaust. That was in the crossover pipe.
Correct.
So the only way to get to that is to pull the engine.
That sucks.
Yeah. So we started looking at, pulling the engine. We're like, all right, if I'm pulling the engine, what other things do I want to do? Is there other stuff that can get done while the engine is pulled? This would be a great time to do it at, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the only other thing that we really had on our mind was the clutch.
Okay.
Sure. Just do the clutch while you're in there, right? While it's out, and clutch flywheel, throwout bearing. And so I was like, okay, yeah. So we planned all that out. So we got in on Monday and started pulling the engine. And by the time I got there in the morning, Ryan, I'm doing this with Ryan, Smokey, with
Smoke and the Bandits.
Yep. So doing this, Ryan, by the time I got there in the morning, he already had pretty much everything ready. All the engine harness was pulled off. The intake plenum was pulled off. The air conditioning compressor was off of the block and kind of strapped to the frame rail. Power steering pump was off the block, strapped to the fender. So, I mean, he pretty much had it ready to go. We just had to disconnect the drivetrain.
Okay.
And a couple of other little things, the starter. We had to pull the starter while I was there. And then pull the engine. So we started doing that. And with my engine the way it is, we have to have it set back, right?
Yeah.
And down a little bit. So it's kind of tucked into the firewall.
And why did you do it? Why was it done that way originally?
So we didn't have to redo the T-case mounts.
Correct.
So we didn't want to have to relocate the transfer case mounts and redo all that.
Yeah, the
stuff.
Transmission and T-case. Mm-hmm. You're using the factory location of the transmission and T-case, and
the dual case position. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's in the factory location, which also means then your drive shafts didn't have to change.
Exactly. Yeah. So by dropping and moving the engine down and back like 3 inches total, something like that, all we had to do was redo the engine mounts, which you had to do anyways with redoing the whole frame up there,
right.
Front section of frame.
And didn't that also mean that you didn't have to cut part of your hood away?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. For the 3/4 intake plenum. So we did that, and because of that, everything's back against the firewall a lot more, which means for a crossover pipe, you have to pull the engine to get to it. And on the bell housing for the transmission, there's 6 bolts, right?
Okay.
So there's kind of 3 up either side of the bell housing.
Yeah.
The bell housing, the bolts are almost clocked a little bit. Like they're not mirrored images of each other on either side of the bell housing.
Okay.
So the ones on the driver's side are a little bit more up in the floorboard, and the ones on the passenger side are a little bit down from the floorboard.
Interesting.
So
wonder why they did that.
I don't know. But what that means is that the top bolt on the driver's side is right almost at 12 o'clock on the bell housing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right where the firewall is, and the engine, everything right up in the firewall and the floorboard. So, with a normal drivetrain setup in that vehicle, you can access that bolt using like two 24-inch extensions with a wobble in the middle.
Right.
And then a wobble socket on the end. And you can reach that one without having to drop anything.
Right.
But mine, you can't do that. There's just not enough space.
Yeah.
So we ended up having to drop the transmission down 3 to 4 inches to make space to get the extensions and everything up there to reach that top bolt. So one of the things that Ryan, who's comes up with these really creative ways of doing things, he was like, well, if you think about it, those bolts on the transmission do two things. One, they keep the transmission and the engine block together. So those mating surfaces together, which means the input shaft and the output shaft and the input shaft connect together correctly, right?
Okay.
So that's one purpose of the bolts. The other purpose is to counteract the twisting torque of the drivetrain.
Correct. Okay.
So that when everything spins, it spins the drivetrain rather than the whole transmission.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was like, if you and my 4Runner, I guess there's a bracket, 2 brackets on the bottom side of the bell housing that are just kind of extra support brackets kind of thing.
Got it.
That use 4 M8 bolts on each bracket. So there's 2 in the block and 2 in the bell housing. On kind of the 4 and 7 o'clock.
Interesting.
Areas of the bell housing, 4:30
it just
and
cradles
7:30.
the bottom of it.
Yeah. So anyways, those brackets I didn't have on mine, but Ryan was like, if you wanted to, you could put those brackets back on, and those brackets would help keep the transmission, everything together, with the engine block, the mating surfaces, right?
Okay.
So your input shafts are connected.
Yes.
They would also help counteract some of that spinning a little bit, the rotational energy. But what you can do is put essentially next to the 12 o'clock bolt, there's a little dowel pin.
Sure.
A metal dowel pin,
a center pin. Yeah.
Yep. A centering pin that helps you line up as you're putting everything on. He goes, you can take that top bolt, turn it into a stud, and use that as another kind of a dowel pin, a centering pin. And that would counteract a lot of the rotation too by having that in there, right?
Okay.
So you kind of help reinforce the connection of the 2 surfaces using the bottom brackets. And then that top bolt turns into kind of a centering pin, dowel pin.
Right.
That's used to help guide everything together and also resists the rotational force of a drivetrain.
So how high up is the next bolt? At what point I'd be slightly concerned about the top pulling away.
Gotcha. So from the next bolt over is 130.
Okay.
So
and it's somewhat similar the other direction.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not bad.
So really not bad. And so he said he did it on his, and he just kind of put a bolt in there and cut it off.
Okay.
And so when we had the engine out, we took the bolt, figured out how deep in the threads go on the block there, which ended up being about an inch and a quarter.
Sure.
And then cut the bolt at about, I want to say 2 inches, and then rounded the head of it. So it's this stud, a dowel pin now, right? And then cut a big notch in it.
Oh.
So that you could put his flathead screwdriver in to screw that into the engine block.
Oh.
Yeah. And then just red Loctited it, screwed it in until it was tight. Didn't torque it down or anything since it's just acting kind of like a centering pin, dowel pin.
Sure.
And so that one, we did that.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little creative idea that he had, and was like, he did it on his, but he didn't do the round it off and cut the notch in it so that it makes it easy to maintenance that, and also to get the bell housing on it.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes, next time I have my transmission down, I'm doing this to this. And I was like, it's a great idea, man. So we did that. That was a fun little thing. Let's see, what other fun little things did we do? When we pulled the engine, we're redoing all the rubber stuff, right? So the coolant hoses that go into the heater core, into the firewall, we're redoing all those. So I found a nice kit from Mishimoto.
Oh,
that supposedly had all those hoses,
Yeah.
but it was missing one of the hoses. Like it was missing the output from the firewall back into the engine block.
Oh,
I'm
bummer.
like, that's a pretty main hose you kind of
Yeah.
need.
Did you contact them? Did they say anything?
I just went down to O'Reilly's and they had a hose that was cut to fit for it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll get that one. So we're doing all those. There was apparently my intake airbox, the tube coming out that goes into the mass airflow sensor and then over to the throttle body. It was just sitting free floating in the intake box. It wasn't like sealed. It wasn't
really.
Yeah. Huh. So my air filter is not filtering anything going into the engine.
Yeah.
And so we're like, all right, we got to fix that. Turns out, the way those connect together is the tube does just sit in there, but on the bottom of the tube, there's a couple of threaded inserts, nutserts. And then the airbox has this like little square platform that those sit in that you then thread together. And it's supposed to hold the hose centered in the airbox so that it seals.
Got it.
And holds the hose and the airbox together.
So yours wasn't threaded in?
I didn't have any bolts there to thread them in. So it was just kind of free floating.
Yeah.
There bouncing around,
Do you
opening
thread
up.
it from like the underside of the wheel well up?
No, you thread it from where the gap between the radiator and the engine block.
Oh,
Over.
okay.
So I was like, yeah, it's accessible.
So did you get bolts and do that?
Yeah, that's one of the things we're fixing while we're there. There was a bunch of the vacuum line plugs on the throttle body. Those were cracked and open. I've had I just thought it was my brake booster going out. Cause I would like hit the brake and then it would slowly just drop to the floor kind of thing. And I would have to kind of build pressure every once in a while, especially when wheeling.
Yeah.
And crawling. Turns out
that could be two things, right?
Yeah.
Your brake booster going out or you have a vacuum leak. Yeah. Okay.
So as we're pulling the engine, Ryan goes, dude, the line going from your brake booster to your throttle body, completely destroyed. It's cracked like almost all the way through. And I was like, oh, that would explain why my brakes are behaving that way.
Yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, you're having brake issues in your booster? Yeah, that would be it right there. I was like, okay, that's fair.
I think I need to redo a bunch of my lines on my truck. I wonder if LC Engineering just sells a kit or something for them. But
I'm sure there's lots of kits out there for 22RE.
I'm sure.
So,
mine works fine until you need to do an emergency brake and then it goes to the floor.
Oh, jeez.
Right. All the other times you're totally good until you get panicked and you slam it.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, not working right now. And then you have to pump it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so I think I have a vacuum leak because I did add the larger dual diaphragm booster on there, which I mean, I did get it from a wrecker. So in theory it could be bad, but I think my issue now is lines. I'll do lines next because I think that the booster's fine.
Yeah. There's some really good, quality silicone lines out there. If you don't need something that's fuel rated, silicone lines are the way to go. I think right now.
That's a good idea.
So,
and I might do yellow.
Yeah. Right. You can do all sorts of fun things.
Yeah. Because I can.
Yep.
To match my seatbelts.
Small rant.
Okay.
For the 3.0, there's all sorts of different colors of tubes, coolant tubes, airline vacuum tubes, everything, all sorts of colors. For the 3.4, it's like black and red and orange, I think, are the only three colors you get on options that I could find. And I was like, I want a neon green.
Yeah. One of the reasons
tubes kit, man.
So I want a colored tube for the reason is so I know which ones I've changed.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Because if I get black tubes, I'm not going to know the difference.
Yeah.
Right. Unless I pull all the tubes off and put all the tubes back on.
Yeah.
Like right then.
Yeah.
Because the day I put like 5 tubes on and then walk away and then come back and go, well, I know these ones are dirty, but I can't tell which ones I've changed or not.
Yeah.
So that's why I want colored.
Yeah, that's fair. So we're looking at doing all that. I think I found my brake problem.
Yep.
So hopefully that gets fixed here too. Let's see, what other fun little things were there? So on the exhaust manifold, 2 crossover flanges.
Okay.
Ori, the guy who did the 3/4 swap and the front frame and installed the 4-wheel underground suspension on the rig. He put on he welded studs into the exhaust manifold flange so that you can just slip the crossover over the studs and then put nuts on and nail it down, right?
Sure.
The crossover pipe comes out of the exhaust manifold, then turns down. And then on the passenger side, turns down, then comes across the engine block and then over to the collector and down into the downpipe. Because the exhaust pipe, the crossover comes down, there's one of the studs that got added to the exhaust manifold is right there behind the down pipe.
Oh, sure.
So you can't really get a wrench on it and get the nut off of the stud.
Yeah.
We ended up having to cut the crossover pipe.
Oh, really?
Off in order to get that bottom nut off the studs.
Okay. So what are you going to do when you assemble everything?
What we did is we redid it because the studs that were on there too were not really welded in that great. And so we cut all those out. Ryan cut all those out. And we got some bolts, some grade 8 bolts, and put them in and then welded the heads of the bolts on to create studs that way.
Oh.
So that should be a much stronger connection for turning these into studs. And we only did that on the upper 2. That lower one that's behind the crossover pipe, we did a stud on the crossover flange.
Okay.
So you've got a stud coming into the exhaust manifold from the crossover, and you have 2 studs from the crossover the exhaust manifold going into the crossover.
Yeah. So you got lockers happening.
Exactly. We got lockers going on here. So yeah, we did that and it came out really nice. It came out great. So I'm really happy with that. And it's going to be serviceable in the future.
Yes.
You got to pull the engine still to service it, but you won't have to just cut the crossover pipe in order to get it off now. So the fun part was this all started because of the crossover, right?
Yeah.
There's a big hole in it.
Yep.
So we pull the engine and we get the engine out and we're like, holy shit, that's not a hole. Like the crossover pipe wasn't connected anymore.
Oh gosh.
It had broken all the way around on the driver side of the crossover where it went down into the collector.
Yeah.
It looks like what happened was it started cracking because it's a perfect crack right along the edge of a weld.
Okay.
So I think what happened was the ORS crossover pipe and where they welded the 2 pipes into the collector, it cracked there. And then just over time, it cracked further.
Right.
Until it blew the whole thing apart.
Yeah.
And I think that the heat wrap was holding it all together.
Yes.
And then eventually it had the catastrophic failure as I was coming off of the Rubicon. And that's when the whole pipe just disintegrated, fell off of itself.
Probably blew through the wrap.
It did.
Yeah.
Yep. So the wrap had blown through as well. You could see where it wasn't a clean break. It was just blown. There were shreds everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So that was fun to look at. And we're like, okay, yeah, that would be an exhaust leak.
Yeah. A big one.
Yep. So we pulled all that off. The new crossover pipe I got from ORS is ceramic coated.
Okay.
And it seems to be a little bit thicker material. So I'm hoping it lasts longer than 2 years this time.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm also not going to be heat wrapping it. Okay. The ceramic coat should help with the heat dissipation of the exhaust, or the lack of heat dissipation from the exhaust, so that it dissipates out the exhaust rather than dissipating at the crossover, which is right on my engine block. So hopefully that does good. The heater valve. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, but my heater valve, I don't have the cable that goes from the in-cab controls to the heater valve.
Why not?
Ori didn't have it for whatever reason. Okay. Lost it something like that during the engine swap.
Okay.
So ever since then, what I've been doing is during wintertime, I go and open that valve on the firewall so that I have hot coolant running through my heater core for the wintertime.
And how do you open it?
Just as a little lever on it. So it's a cable. Typically the cable goes from the in-cab slider out your firewall and attaches to that valve. So when you go to heat and turn on the heater in cab, it just opens that valve with the cable.
So you open your hood and you just reach in your engine bay, probably near the firewall, wherever that
top of the firewall
line
center
goes
line,
in. You just flip a valve.
Flip the lever on the valve. And I would do that in November.
Sure.
End of October, early November, and then leave the valve open until March or April.
Right.
And then March or April comes, close the valve. That way I've got as cold of air conditioning as I can for the summer.
Right. So what about winter when you're running the AC to defrost things? You're still getting heat through it?
Yep. You're just running a hot, the main thing with the AC is the dryer.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the main reason of running your AC during the wintertime. But you're getting a hot air conditioner during the winter because the blender door opens up and allows the hot air coming across your heater core to come in the cab and blocks the cold air coming across the air conditioning side.
Right. Okay.
But you're still getting the dry air from the AC dryer.
Understood.
Yeah. All right. So that valve is all plastic.
Okay.
It's a plastic valve. It's 26 years old now.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I don't know how much longer. I mean, at a certain point in these older Toyotas, all the plastics just disintegrate, right? It's the dashboard issue. So apparently Ryan has had to go out and save one of our other employees here because his heater valve went out and was leaking coolant everywhere and he couldn't get back home because he had coolant going everywhere and didn't have a way to have a pressurized cooling system. And then there's apparently...
Why do you need that?
Why do you need a pressurized cooling system?
Yeah.
So your engine doesn't weld its cylinders together?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you could drive for like 15 minutes and then wait for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then drive for 15 more minutes and wait for an hour.
Right. You could.
It'd take you like 6 hours to get off the Rubicon.
Yeah. So anyways, that plastic heater valve tends to have issues, later in life with these vehicles. So, since I'm not using it with the in-cab controls, I'm going out and manually moving the valve myself twice a year anyways. We got a stainless steel ball valve.
Okay.
And are going to be putting that in there.
Cool.
So that'll be really nice to have in there. Just peace of mind that valve's not going to go out on me. I'm not going to lose my cooling system at an opportune time.
Yeah. Yeah.
While the engine was out, I've known that my valve cover were leaking oil for a while. Like they've just kind of been seeping. I didn't think it was that bad, but you could see oil seeping out and then dirt build up and oil and dirt around the valve covers.
Okay.
So while we had the engine on the stand, we're like, let's just fucking pull the valve covers, redo the valve cover gaskets and the tube seals.
Okay.
The spark tube plug tube seals while we're here. And that way, fresh gaskets, we can just stop the leaking now. Don't have to worry about it. So we go to break the bolts loose on the valve cover and they're not even finger tight.
Oh man.
I've never touched the valve covers on this engine.
Okay.
So I don't know who the last person was that touched the valve covers on the engine. Maybe Ori. I don't know if he checked them.
Right.
Or anything. But none of them were even finger tight.
Oh, wow.
Not a single bolt. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 bolts around the valve cover. Not a single one. Yeah. Per side.
Yeah.
And not a single one was tight.
Wow.
So I was like, well, that's where our problem is.
Yeah.
That's
just
why
tighten it up and we'll run.
Right. So I thought about it. I was like, no, we already got the valve cover gaskets. We'll just pull them and do them all over here.
Okay.
Besides the tube seals were shot.
Oh,
those things were hard plastic. They were not rubber anymore.
Yeah.
So redid the valve cover gaskets, the tube seals while we were in there as well. Exhaust manifolds, we did all those. Got gaskets for the manifold to the crossover, new gasket for the crossover to the collector, the downpipe. Intake manifold gaskets. While we had the engine out, I jumped in the engine bay and pressure washed everything down.
Okay.
And then painted all of the frame rail and the suspension brackets on the frame and everything.
Oh, nice.
So everything in there is this really nice coat, has a base layer coat of the rust killer, quote unquote, the rust inhibitor base layer, and then the flat black, just Rust-Oleum on top of it.
Okay.
And it all looks really nice.
Oh, good.
With it all painted now. And I'm not going to have to worry about it rusting out and having to keep redoing clear coat and all this. So that was really nice to get done. Now that that's done, I can go through and start painting all the other suspension stuff, the rest of the frame, all the rear stuff. And while we were down there as well, I cut off the diamond logos of the axle and put on these little Morphlate logos.
Nice.
That Brad from Hot Metal Fab cut out for me on his laser. So just this cute little, it's an MF, our icon, right?
Yeah.
And just, he made them with a couple holes in them so you could plug weld it to the axle housing.
Okay.
So we got those on. So now that those are on, I can paint the axles.
Yeah.
And then my goal is to paint everything black. And then, go over and hand paint the MF icon on the axles neon green.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So it should come out really nice. There was another really fun little fix, thing that, Ryan has been wanting to do on his rig, for a while, but just hasn't done it yet. And he goes, we should do it on yours.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is now, but it was another really just clever little Ryan thing.
Yeah.
So the big thing with this project is as we started diving in, just finding the little things here and there. Right.
Sure.
And it was there was already a kind of a little list of things that I've never really done because I'm like, to do one of them is going to take a long time.
Right.
I really need to just build them all up and do them all at once.
Yeah. While the engine's out.
Yeah. And so the vacuum lines, coolant lines, the valve cover gaskets, that was all on the to-do list. The heater valve was on the to-do list. The clutch and flywheel, the bearing, the rear main seal looked good. Looks like I just had a little bit of seepage coming through the bolt holes. So we're just going to add a little RTV into those bolts for the flywheel.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah. That's it. It's just a lot of little things. And then as every little thing comes up, like Monday, we had everything pulled. We had the parts list done that we wanted to order by about 1 PM. So place the order with O'Reilly's.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, cool. Everything will be ready at 4.
Okay.
And we're like, that's going to be too hot. Like 1 PM was already pushing where it's starting to get hot here.
And especially this week's just been getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, no problem. I was like, I'll be by in the morning to pick everything up. So I show up in the morning and he didn't have 3 of the things I ordered.
Oh no.
I was like, what happened? And he goes, I don't know. I guess, the DC didn't have those parts, so they didn't bring them. And I was like, you couldn't have like tried to call me at 4 and been like, hey, these parts aren't available. Let's find a replacement part number for them.
They didn't even look at it.
They didn't even fucking look at it.
No, of course not.
And so, yeah, I had to reorder parts that morning and take the stuff that we did have and start installing it all on Tuesday. So Tuesday was, install all the engine stuff. So the exhaust manifolds, redo the studs on the exhaust and crossover manifolds, valve covers, painting the frame, all those things. That was Tuesday. And they were like, all right, everything will be ready to be picked up at 2 on Tuesday. And we're like, it's too hot by 2 o'clock to try and reinstall the engine. Right. So, we're like, okay, that's fine. We'll let it go. And, Ryan went and got everything around 3 or 4 yesterday and is working on it today while we're recording.
Yep.
And he's like, I can put the engine back in myself. I've done it before. You've got stuff you need to do. Just go ahead and go do it. And I was like, okay. And then turns out the throw-out bearing was the wrong throw-out bearing.
Oh no.
So it's a 3/4 throw-out bearing. I have the 3.0 transmission, so it needs the 3.0 throw-out bearing. But the clutch kits only come with the same model that your clutch is.
Okay.
So if you order a 3/4 clutch because you have a 3/4 flywheel, then your clutch kit comes with a 3/4 throw-out bearing.
Sure.
So if you need a 3.0 throw-out bearing, you have to go order a 3.0 throw-out bearing separate. So you end up getting a spare 3/4 throw-out bearing every single time you do a clutch job.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is annoying. But it's something I forgot. One of the little intricacies of having a custom built vehicle that I forgot about. So Ryan had to go back down and find a 3.0 throw-out bearing. And then a couple of other little things have popped up today that he's like, hey, how do you want this? And I'm like, I'll just do this.
Yeah.
But he's super mechanical, super capable. He knows what he's doing. So he's doing a good job. And I'm sitting here in the air conditioning recording podcast.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny.
Yeah. So it should be all done and it should drive great. We did new spark plugs as well. So while we were in there, we just pulled the spark plugs, looked at everything. We didn't do the cables because those cables require the coil packs.
Oh.
And the 3/4 coil packs are notoriously good.
Okay.
The Toyota did a good job with them. They almost never die. And if they do die, it's like $150 per coil pack. It's stupid expensive.
Right.
So we're like, coil packs are working. Let's keep them there.
Yeah.
We'll do the spark plugs though. And pulling all the spark plugs, they looked all good. All the cylinders are getting a nice clean burn.
Sweet.
No oil in any of the cylinders, no crud buildup. Everything's a clean burn. The electrodes were getting gone. They were getting old. It was time for new spark plugs.
Okay.
So new plugs got in. Man, what else? I really wish I remember what that other little fun little clever thing was. Cause like, this is really clever for people with older Toyotas. It's a really nice quality of life thing to do while you have stuff apart. I know Ryan will tell me when he listens to the episode. He's probably screaming at the radio right now. But yeah, it was good. It should drive really well. When it's done, I should have brakes again.
There you go.
When we're done, I shouldn't have an exhaust leak to worry about anymore when we're done.
I know. I think we were originally talking like when this was starting to come about is that you're hoping to be able to have this rig done before the Moreflate, whatever you're calling it, the Moreflate meetup.
Yeah. The Moreflate, camping trip on the Rubicon.
Yeah.
That was the goal. And it seems like we're definitely going to have it done.
You're way ahead of schedule.
Yeah. So it should be good. I don't know if it'll be done today, but definitely by the weekend.
That's great. So, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still want to pull my power steering box on Bobcat and change that out for the redhead one that I have that I was going to use for Samantha.
Yeah. See if you have a sector shaft thing going on.
See if there's an issue with what's happening. Yeah. There. And then that should, in theory, tell me if there's a problem or where the next issue is, if there is still a problem or that solves the problem. I will find out. But if I do swap it out, I'm going to be like, okay, well, do I rebuild this box and put it on Samantha or do I just get myself another redhead?
Yeah.
That's built correctly.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up needing to do, but that's the one major thing that I need to do on Bobcat, before the meetup Moreflate run.
Yep.
Speaking of the Moreflate run, is the secretary going? 'Cause the assistant wants to know.
I don't know yet. We're going to be going out with the family the week before Cantina.
Oh yeah.
Up to the Feather River, drop some more of Grandpa in the Feather River kind of thing. I want to get down to his old homestead site, gold mining claim essentially.
Yeah.
That he spent, 9 through 13 years old, on the Feather River down near Millsap Bar.
Okay.
I want to go down and hike down to his old homestead mine claim, to get GPS locations.
Oh, cool.
Just to have, right. Yeah. So I want to do that while I'm down there. And, in order to, I don't know, not really in order to go down there, but, I also wanted to go check out, Cleghorn Bar while I'm there. And I want the 4Runner for going down there.
Yeah, sure.
So I'd like to have it for that. And the family is all coming out for that during the weekdays. So
yeah.
I don't know if the secretary is going to want to do another multi-day wheeling trip.
Yeah.
That close together.
Okay.
So, but I will find out and let you know.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, I think that's it. So fun stuff, fun activities we're up to. Jimmy has a bear custom housing from Trail Gear that we're going to get to play with here soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll have a drivable 4Runner here shortly.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was kind of alluding to trying to get the Samantha done for your the Rubicon meetup and just like thinking about all the little things that needs to get done that there's no possible way.
No.
But I do think I'm going to try to make a goal for myself to get, because we're going to hit winter here eventually and there'll be less outdoor time.
Yeah.
More shop time. And I think I want to try to have Samantha ready for Cruise Moab.
Okay.
I think that's a doable.
That's very doable.
I think that's a doable goal.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think so too. So that'll be fun. I'm hoping I can get it done beforehand, do some pre-running, just to checks. There's a lot of little things that I kind of want to get done that I think now that I'm not going to just rush everything to try to get it done.
Yeah. I
think will be really fun. I also am going to try actually to start some videos in regards to that. Just because I'm finding that I'm being lazy because I'm not having to do videos.
Okay.
Well, not that I'm not doing videos, but since I'm not regularly releasing a video, I'm not regularly working on the rig.
Okay.
Right. And if I give myself a
release schedule,
maybe once every 2 weeks or something, you know, like I can work on the rig for a week, I'll edit a video a week, and I'll take that same allotment of time to do one or the other.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So I don't have to just cram it all into 1 week. But if I'm going to commit myself to releasing a video, then that is committing myself to do some work on a rig at some sort of point. So I think I'm going to have to start that up here soon.
Cool.
Yep.
That'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So. I have to pick your brain when we get off air about how I might want to start this thing. So because I'm starting with something that I've already started. So, so I think I need an intro video, but I don't know how I might want to start it. So we could chat off air for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. If you guys want to get a hold of us, so you want to leave us some feedback, anything like that, we do have a voicemail number you can call, leave us a voicemail. We'll reply to it on Friday's episodes. That's tomorrow. But that number is 916-345-4744. It goes to voicemail. We don't hear it ring. It doesn't bother us. So you can call it anytime you want. Doesn't matter if you're up in the middle of the night. If you're stumbling around a campground trying to find your campsite 219 at 3 a.m., give us a call. Let us know that you're doing that. Makes for great entertainment on air. So you can do that. You can get a hold of us on Instagram. There's Snail Trail 4x4, 4x4 Toto Tayler. There's emails. There's Facebook. There's Ira 4x4. There's Bat Signals, Snail Mail. Which is different from snail mail that we just talked about. Paper mail. And we've been getting tokens out in the wild.
We have.
So once we get enough tokens out in the wild where we feel like there's a good amount there, we will be reopening the treasure hunt.
Yeah. I made 3 batches of tokens the other day. I gave one whole batch to Tyler. I have 2 more batches. I had a bunch of people reach out to me saying that they want they're willing to hide tokens. So I'm going to start sending those out with kind of a letter on how to do it and what we need. And then, we're going to get all of them out. Speaking of that, I have more for you as well, like coordinates for you.
Oh, cool.
Because the original batch that I made a while ago is all gone. So we've used up all those. So we have a full batch out in the wild for the most part, minus the 2 that Donnie hid, which are found that nobody knew the coordinates of. They just randomly found. There's a whole batch out in the wild right now that nobody knows about.
Okay.
So there's 11 letters out there because there's 13 in a batch.
Yeah.
There's 11 letters out in the wild right now that pretty much either somebody has in their hand they haven't hidden yet, or they're hidden.
Yeah.
And in multiple states.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've hidden a few.
Okay.
Of the ones you gave me already.
Wow. All
so
right.
Yeah, they're out there and I'm keeping a collection of them. I just need the coordinates from you and I'll get them put into the Onyx folder.
Yeah.
And then we can start releasing them to people. Open up the folder for public viewing.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool.
And just so if anybody's wondering, because I think we're going to label them on Onyx by the number that's on the token so we can keep track.
Yep.
I've been mixing up the order of the letters to the numbers.
Yep.
So you can't just be like, oh, number 1 is S.
Yeah.
Like I got it. Number
T,
2
3 is A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way anymore.
No.
Where it's
randomized.
all randomized now. Yep.
Sweet. We'll be launching that soon. Wait for the announcement there. We'll get the folder posted publicly, the URL public, so you guys can take a look and see if there's anything near you that you would like to go out on an adventure on. The point of this is mainly to get people to go play outdoors.
Yep.
Right. And you guys will get to win some fun prizes once you spell out snail trail 4x4 as well. So
exactly.
All right. Anything else, man?
No, I think that's it. Yeah.
Sweet. What do you got to tell all the lovely folks out there today then?
If you're camping in a campsite, campgrounds, don't steal somebody else's picnic table.
Wise words. Maybe that's why somebody got into a fight.
Maybe.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
But it was our picnic table that got stolen.
No. Wait, so did they pick up your picnic table and steal it, or were there just people in your campsite?
The neighboring campsite picked up our picnic table at some time and moved it into their campsite so they could have 2 tables.
What? Wow.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Where do wasps go for lunch?
I don't know.
The bistro.
Yeah. I mean, do wasps eat bees?
I don't think so.
According to, no, that was ants. Never mind.
Oh.
No, those were grasshoppers, not wasps. And they were ants, not bees.
You been watching some like Discovery Channel?
No.
Oh.
I think that's the problem though.